So the weekly update, I'm doing it on the Friday because I'm done for all my trades this week, and it's been a very bad week to be fair. So Monday we had a break of London session, break of Asia session highs here, Asia session highs here. Then we had pre-London session highs here. We had a break of structure to the upside. We continued on, created these lows. Most recent low, we had a break of structure again, so I was going to enter on the retest. So I've entered, and then it went straight to stop loss. So that was the first loss, and that was about 2%, just under that. So yeah, that loss, to me, that was a good trade because we had, a nice break and then retest in to take price higher. But that didn't work. And then here, price melted all the way down, and then it started creating lows and then highs and continued on. So I was waiting for London session to break the most recent low, which it did here. Broke the most recent low, create a high, high create low, then low created a new high, which was this candle. Entered on, I think I entered on the break structure candle, which was here, and then I marked up 50%, which was like here, and I entered on 50% with the same risk. So I lost about another 2% here. I thought this trade was good as well, but didn't play out. Got out on the breaker structure candle here. I'm pretty sure it stopped me out. And then Wednesday, no trade. Thursday had a missed trade. Breaker structure here. I was waiting for it to get to the 2 pips area, which it didn't. I was going to enter manually, but because I was only going to be risking 0.25%, I was like, oh, I'll just wait for it to hit the limit. It never hit the limit, and it went all the way to TP. That was that trade. Kind of similar to the one on Monday. Kind of similar to the one on Monday, but yeah, it just didn't hit. Then Friday, as you can see, we had a breaker structure of Asia session, pre-London, all these breaks, and then we had this breaker structure here with this bearish candle, so big bullish candle to break the structure of Asia session, bearish candle, another breaker structure to the upside, and then I entered on a breaker structure candle, which was here, but because of spreads, it entered me a bit higher. Target the 1 to 3, it come to about 1 to 2, and then reversed. I manually closed here because it was a break of this structure, and then price did continue to the downside. Now in hindsight, one thing I can now look at and I can understand is this setup here does tend to lose, it does tend to lose. So I need to start watching out for them setups because they are making me lose quite a bit, quite a bit. Wednesday there was no trade. But yeah, them setups are starting to make me lose quite a bit. As you can see, I did the same thing here and did well, and then it reversed, and then it eventually lost. So yeah, I keep falling for that because I back tested it, and in back testing it was the setup that was winning some trades, losing some trades. Yeah, I need to be cautious of that setup and not keep taking them, or sometimes just sit them out. I need to watch this setup, I need to watch it and see how it moves. you know, because we back tested it, so we understand that our most profitable days are Monday and Tuesdays, and we should lower risk on other days. But I think from next week, I'm gonna start now looking into refining my trades, right? Going over the winning trades and losing trades and see if there's consistency with what the losses look like, consistency with what the wins look like, and then also manually getting out of trades if I start seeing reversals mid-trade. So for example, what's a good example? Like Wednesday, for example. It wouldn't have saved me here because it wasn't that far away from my entry. But let's say I've entered off this low. This low's then created this high, this high's then created this low. Then we've had a nice break, right? Had a nice break. Lows created this high, and then it's tested these highs. It's tested it once, tested it twice, tested it three times. From when it's tested it the third time, I could have exited, and if I wanted to wait for a clear breaker structure, I could have exited here. And even though that wouldn't have saved me, because a breaker structure, it would have meant that this trade was in drawdown. This drawdown would have only been 0.4 pips, and this other trade, I'm pretty sure would have been in profit by 2 pips. So not that much, but it would have meant that I would have closed the trade at near enough break even instead of taking a 2% loss, you know? So that is what I'm going to start to look into because I am starting to hold a lot of losers and I am doing it for the sample size. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm realizing, but I do understand that I need to take more live tested trades and then I'll be able to really understand where I'm going wrong. So as you can see, my calendar this week is very, very bad, -5%. So where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is this week? Yeah, don't. That's not the 17th. So from when I entered the trade did look good. Nice breaker structure, retest, take price higher, but it just didn't seem to play out. So yeah, and on live trading, as you can see, 2% on Monday, -2% on Monday, -2.9%, 2.97% on Tuesday, Wednesday no trade, Thursday no trade, and then Friday would be -0.34% total. So yeah, not the best week, not the best week, but I think a lot of the losses and a lot of my trades are because I am trying to pass as quick as possible and I am forcing a lot of trades. Not forcing them because I am following the rules that I did having back testing, but I think because I keep changing my risk one week, I'm risking 1%, then 2% because I'm just trying to pass as quick as possible. It is then affecting my overall results. So I think I just need to downsize, lower my risk, and only take high quality setups. Obviously, I understand my strategy because I've back tested it and I understand it. But because of the new way I back tested it and I was taking every breaker structure, I'm trying to now apply that in the real markets. And I don't think that will last that long, if that makes sense. I understand that there is an edge on Monday and Tuesday, but that doesn't mean that every Monday and Tuesday I should just force a trade because it's following my rules. Yes, you should enter every trade that follows your rules, but there's also, understanding the market direction, understanding the market conditions and stuff. So for example, a trade like this is just an example, a trade like this, for me, this is a good trade. So I'd have no problems with this trade. Now, this trade, on the other hand, there is more rules I could have looked at and factors I could have looked at. I could have understood, okay, this is the low. It's created a high. Okay, it's created a low. It's created a low, then it's created a new high. Okay, but that high is still part of this move. So maybe once, if I get rid of this, so once this had been created, because this would still be considered as part of the same push. Even though this is a higher low, it's still part of this move, right? So this low has created this high. So every high part of this move is still one move, right? It's still low to high. It's got these little lows in between. Yeah, this low here, this low here. But all in all, that doesn't matter unless that's broken. So cool, that's that low, that's that high. And then once this had broken, I could have then been looking for entries. Not saying it would have saved me from a loss. I feel like a trade like this would have been a better, in my opinion, a better move. 6 pip stop loss and then target 1 to 3. It would have still lost, but I feel like that would have been a smarter way to play it, you know? But because I'm generally just trying to pass as quick as possible and I'm utilizing, okay, Monday, Tuesday are my profitable days, I feel like I'm just now just jumping into trades to just jump into trades. and because the markets are quiet, I feel like I'm just FOMOing into trades, which is never the smartest thing to do, you know. Wednesday there was generally no trade. I didn't see anything, so can't complain about that. Thursday I could have entered there, to be fair. You know, I could have entered there. Um, even here, to be fair, it would have been another entry, you know, 9:55, enter like that, 6.4 stop loss, and then 1 2 3, like that. So, you know, there was some decent setups this week. I just didn't play it well. And this setup, I need to stop. I need to stop with this because it's just not. It's not it. But yeah, what I should have waited for is, as I did, the breaker structure to the upside. And then what I should have waited for is signs that it was going to actually continue. So the breaker structures happened, bearish candle, the first bearish candle of London session. So this would be the low. Lows create a high. Now, okay, what's the high going to do? Is the high going to retest the low and then go higher? No, because it didn't do that. So I should have generally waited for it to retest and then go higher. But I didn't. I entered aggressively, and then price broke structure to the downside, and then yeah, it continued on. But where's 10 a.m.? Oh, this is 10 a.m. So yeah, I get rid of this. Yeah, the breaker structure happened at what 10:55. So technically, a day like this, there shouldn't have been no trade for me, you know. But because I entered aggressively and wanted to just catch the impulse move, which I did, I caught it, but it didn't hit my TP and ended up losing. But yeah, I feel like I'm just rushing trades now and just being impatient. And I think that's the biggest thing right now. I'm being impatient and just rushing things instead of letting structure play out. You know, I'm trying to get in on the first move. You know, trying to get in on the first move when I could have waited for the second move. Trying to get in on the first move when really and truly there was nothing showing. You know, I just wanted to be impulsive. So yeah, next week I'm gonna drop my risk back to 1%, and I'm actually gonna try and stay to 1% and not change it throughout the week or change it or whatever. I'm actually gonna try stick to 1%. I think the accounts are at -2% each, which isn't nothing major. So yeah, 19.6 down. Let me actually check trading accounts. 9.7, 9.8. So yeah, not that bad. Still got a couple trades left in them, but yeah, horrible month so far. Horrible months to be fair. But that's just because of my impulse. You know, I'm trying to pass them so quick, and me trying to pass things so quick and rush things means that I'm now missing out on quality setups because I'm losing on low quality setups. So me trying to rush is backfiring, you know. So I'm really just gonna try to take my time and be patient and just yeah, man, see how it goes. See how it goes. But yeah, it's annoying. You know, it's annoying. But yeah, I think that is it. And hopefully the next couple of weeks are going forward we have a better trading month. But that is it for now.